What is up, guys? Most of you know me as an AD carry main, and this is something so many people ask me. What do I think of AD carries this season? Well, most people think they suck, right? That's the general gist from comments, tweets, Reddit, whatever, but it's really not as simple as that. So this video is going to go over like the state of AD carry, a few little things you can do to be a better AD, and just why it seems like we do actually suck right now. You know how when you're playing AD and you feel like there's a target on your back, like the enemy team have picked champions to kill you, or they just constantly focus you? Well, yeah, that is actually just completely normal. That is AD carry. In theory, we are the most important role in the game. So yeah, I am biased, okay, but there's actually a reason behind it. We have the highest potential DPS out of anyone in the game. Damage per second, by the way. It does mean in theory we are the highest priority target, like we're the most dangerous person to leave alone, and the game in a whole inadvertently revolves around AD carries a lot. It's the same in every single season. Picks come up to shut down popular ADs and then make their lives harder, so we have to pick a new style of AD which is good against that. So we have two kind of styles. The auto-attacking AD is Caitlyn Jinx, which means they're going to pick more burst champions to kill us quickly. The other side is ability ADs like Lucian or Misfortune, which means we're going to have more tanky picks that can outlast our abilities because our auto attacks aren't as powerful. So this season was a little bit different because of the Duskblade edition. Like, it massively forced the shift to assassins in the meta. It didn't just happen naturally, there was this massive spike in AD assassins. This season made ability ADs better anyway because of the Essence Reaver is such a good core item on them now, so that means that tanks come up to absorb that burst and counter the assassins, and now we have more tank killing ADs, we're back to more carry laners. You can see what I mean, right? It goes round and round in a massive circle, but let's just look at AD carry in a nutshell, right? So potentially we have the highest DPS in the game, strong in team fights, but the trade-off is we have low health, we're weaker early, and we're focused because of that potential. Because of that, honestly, AD carry is one of, if not the hardest role to play. It's highly mechanical, honestly, and we get focused really hard. As much as it seems like it, AD carry is not really about killing everyone, really. Surviving is a bigger part. You have to survive the initial focus, and then you can start to kill people. So what is the deal this season, though, right? Do AD carries actually suck? Not really. AD carry champions don't suck, but we do. I think it's harder to play the role now. It's harder to actually have an impact in the game. Tanks have way more tools to deal with us, and we have less tools to deal with them. We're forced to build like really full damage if we want to carry, so one slip up is going to mean we're dead and we've just kind of lost the game, I guess. Look at professional games, right? They rarely build any defense, maybe a more about Mortius, but that was nerfed as well, and that is fine for them. They can position and they can dodge everything. Us plebs are going to struggle with that. Like, we need some defense to survive. Our positioning isn't perfect, neither is our kiting, but we can't afford to or we won't be able to kill things. One of the reasons it seems like we suck is because our defensive options are more limited and not as good this season. It's actually harder to survive in fights and still output a lot of damage. Build shifted way more into Infinity Edge and a Zeal item, or Essence Reaver and Zeal item, so it's heavy damage and no real defense until like third, maybe even fourth item. If you remember back to a couple of seasons ago, we always used to rush a Bloodthirster in lane for sustain, or at very least a Vamp Scepter before anything else. Lifesteal is a defensive mechanic. I know some people don't get this, but it helps us to damage while healing us and bringing our health total back up so we can DPS for even longer. Really, this is kind of where the new Season 6 Marksman update came in and shook a lot of things up. We actually really have three kind of groups of ADs now. We have these AD bruisers like Graves, Kindred, Quinn, ability ADs or Essence Reaver ADs like Lucian, Misfortune, Sivir, and traditional auto attack ADs like Caitlyn or Jinx. The update was really aimed at giving us earlier defensive tools and more power, so new Phantom Dancer, Death's Dance, more about Mortius, the Mercurial Scimitar, Sterix, Keystones, and even Essence Reaver for cooldown reduction. The focus kind of was on AD and Armor Pen for more early damage. The AD is kind of buffing our abilities and autos, and the Armor Pen to make them hurt more through base armor. Perfect for bursty ADs, almost actually too good. These things actually made us pretty decent early, and that's not really the point of AD carries. We have loads of damage and we're supposed to get more as the game goes on. We're supposed to be weaker early, so even more focus on shutting us down now after these changes. The Sterix and More combo kind of made us unkillable in a lot of cases. I found AD so much easier because we had so many options that gave us damage and defense together. The problem was that Graves and Kindred abused these way too much, so they got nerfed for the rest of the ADs. These bruiser class of ADs were actually way too strong. So More was nerfed, they removed the attack speed, Warlord's Bloodlust was nerfed, the lifesteal, Sterix Gauge nerfed, Scimitar nerfed, and now even Quicksilver Sash is nerfed. So basically my point is defensive options are now nerfed, okay? The reason high level ADs can play and dominate is because we can stay safer in fights with positioning, and it's much harder for lower ranked players to do that. AD carry is a very hard role for any skill level. At any tier now, it's going to be harder to play AD carry this season. Koreans actually rarely build any defense. It's not optimal to anymore. The reason they can win and shred tanks is because they're not wasting gold on defense. They're relying on mechanics and kiting to get them to survive. That is not easy for normal players. That's not how it really works. We need some kind of defense to make sure that we can survive because we aren't perfect. Like right now, we actually have this situation where auto-attacking late game ADs are harder to play. They're weaker mid game, and it's just really hard to stay alive and kill stuff at the same time. The tower situation doesn't help. They're weaker, they're easier to kill, which means shorter games are more of a snowball. That kind of encourages early game ADs even more. There's less incentive to play later game ADs. You'll get bullied in lane, you're not able to deal with tanks mid game, and you're unlikely to even be able to last till late game. Essence Reaver is so dominant for ability ADs too because of cooldown reduction and crit, like the perfect mix really. You're able to do more damage with abilities mid game, and you're still good late game with crit. Essence Reaver is really the reason Sivir and Lucian have been at the top all season, and it feels like they're in every single game. Before I ramble on too long this video, I guess my point is that ability based ADs seem fine. They can keep up because they do more damage earlier. This is the exact reason why Rageblade is a thing. It spikes earlier and lets us do more damage mid game. Auto attack champions like Caitlyn, Jinx are harder now, so that's where you're really feeling the pressure, I guess. They rely on their autos, which takes more time to kill and more time to get jumped on. It's a much slower build, and it's just not as strong as Lucian or anything like that mid game, so you fall behind, you lose towers, and that now this season is a big disadvantage. That is really why AD carries seems like they suck in this season. It's harder to play, less forgiving, and Infinity Edge Rush for auto champions sucks absolute balls. I hope you enjoyed this video though, and like my kind of insight I guess. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, share, but for now let's go to the robots.